Greetings everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about source players inviting attachments, entity attachments, into their lives.
Greetings. This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
As a source player, you can invite by your actions, by your consent, to having entity attachments attached to you and sucking energy out of you and your synergy cell. Non-retrievable energies. Now, what are these? How do you invite these entity attachments? Well, I'm going to say religion is huge. Huge, huge, huge. You're not going to get and experience your best life yet if you are involved in any kind of a religion and you are giving your energy away to something outside of yourself. You see, because you created this game, it is your experience. And if you have a God outside of yourself, then you're giving your energy and your empowerment away. And you are stuck in the lower frequencies as long as you have that thing in your life. You will not raise your frequency. You have a major attachment to you. Now, if you are drinking alcohol, it's called spirits for a reason. Spirits, you have attachments, entity attachments to you by your consent. You drink that alcohol, you have attachments. You have attachments. You need to remove the attachments. This goes for all of these. And I'll get to the end and I'll share more specifically how you should do that. But drugs, recreational drugs, inviting entity attachments, and actually lying and deceiving information, matrix misdirect information would be a good way of putting that. Smoking, sex. If you are having sex with multiple people, you are creating attachments with each and every single one of them. Strong attachments. And depending on who or what that person is that you are having that sexual intercourse with, it could be really not good for you. But you need a good source self-connection to be able to sort through this stuff and determine what will benefit you and what won't. Debt has an attachment. Swearing. Swearing is inviting entity attachments and is also removing energy from your synergy cell reserves. You see, if you are your mouth frequency, okay, the words that come out of your mouth are an evidence of your frequency state of being. And if you are swearing and that is your lifestyle and you're attracted to that, then that says a lot about you. Okay? That is very revealing of what frequency level that you are on at that time. Materialism. If you are a very materialistic person and you have a lot of attachments to things that actually you don't own them, they own you. If you couldn't live with seeing them disappear from before your eyes, then that is a very deep attachment and it is draining your synergy cell. It is an attachment by choice because you have become too attached to that thing, person, animal, whatever. There are so many, many, many things that you give your energy to unaware that is depleting your synergy cell by choices that you are making and is inviting attachments into your life. Now, how do you clear those attachments? Well, for one thing, you put away the activity. You determine in your now day that that's not going to be part of your now day, and you are not going to participate in that thing any longer in this now day. Yesterday doesn't count. Forget about yesterday. It's always ever now. Those are thought stream implants. And you need to live in your now day and recognize that all you have to do is worry about this day, the choices that you make this day. Alcohol, gone. Drugs, gone. Meat, gone. That's another thing. Meat, you choose to eat meat, then there are attachments, entity attachments to you because of that action. Because of that action. You make choices, and there's a payment and a cause and effect of those actions. If you do something, then it has an effect. You have an experience from that action. Otherwise, there would be no action. I mean, there's always, why would you do anything if it doesn't have something attached to a reason for doing it? Why would you even do it? Hopefully you're choosing beneficial choices for yourself. Competition comes with entity attachments because you still don't have this game. You see, you're the creator of your experience. There is no competition for you unless you create it to be there. This entire thing, you need to look at your thing today. You stay in your now day. Recognize that this now day is all that you have, that you are experiencing. The past is gone. It's an illusion. It's a thought stream being piped to you. So many strive for wealth, status, and position, and all of these things are traps. You see, you have it all. You're the creator of it all. Talk about wealth and status and position. You are source. And yet you think that you're clawing, trying to create yourself a status and position within this illusionary dream state. You have no competition. You are all that is. As source, you are all that is. Now you've fractalized yourself into the many different source players in this game, but you're all that is. And why do you even try to compete amongst yourselves? If you are sitting there and you're trying to figure out what position number player you are in this game, that's a lower frequency right there. If you're trying to figure out if you're in the top 10%, if you're trying to figure out in your top 100 source players, if you're trying to figure out any of that stuff, that is evidence of ego and low frequency. Don't do it. Don't go there. That's a competitive mindset, and that will not benefit you ever in this game. You need to concentrate on, are you doing what you need to do to experience your best life yet? Are you staying in your now day? Are you staying in your now? Are you creating beneficial things for your life by your choices instead of fearful things? That's another thing. Fear will not be experienced in the higher frequency realms because you recognize this game for what it is, and there's nothing to fear. If you fear, then you're creating that very thing in your life that you fear. How wonderful life is whenever you don't have fear of anything. You have no fear of lack, you have no fear of anything bad happening to you. It's your fear that creates those things in your life once you have unlocked your script. Fear has no place in your life because if you have fear, then you are creating that thing that you fear in your experience. You have nothing to fear otherwise. Why would you go there? Why would you do that to yourself? Do you realize when you have no fear that how freeing your life can be? Really? How freeing your life can be. It's a joy. It's an adventure. How do you get rid of the attachments? First of all, you stop doing the behavior in this day. You stop behaving participating in the behavior that created the attachments to start with. And you revoke them. You remove them with intent that you're not going to continue doing the things that brought them to start with. Okay? And you spin them off of you. Spin them off. Through your intent, you remove them from you. Look at the spinning clearing video that I put out. Many of you are new to the channel and you're asking questions that I've covered. The information is already there and it benefits you to watch them all. And if you don't want to watch them all, don't ask me questions. Don't ask me questions. Because you haven't done the work that's required of you to get the answers. And you may not even have been a high enough frequency to have caught the information in previous videos. And it would benefit you to go back and watch them again once you have raised your frequency, because you'll be a frequency match to more information and you will see more things. Yes. You will hear more things. And especially as more of this information that I'm sharing about harvest season, you go back and you listen to some of the previous videos now with a little bit more of the bigger picture, and you get more out of it also. Yes, you do. But you need to use your intent to remove the attachments and to remove your association from them. Remove any contracts that you created on your own outside of your soul contract. And I mean, you can create contracts with people. You create business contracts. You create contracts all the time through intent of action. Those are individual to each individual source player, and you need to ask if you have any that you need to revoke or remove. That even goes for, marriage contracts. Now, does it mean that you have to run out there and divorce the person? Well, you should never marry them to start with, but that's, you can be in a relationship without. Well, and let me also add here too. Relationships can come with intentionally created contracts, even though it's not a contract in a paper form. It's a contract of intent. There is an intent there, and those need to be recognized and then removed. But that doesn't mean that you have to remove the relationship. But the contract that you can't see, that is a nonverbal contract, needs to be removed, as it would benefit you. And you need to verify that with your source self. But all of these things, each individual source player needs to have a good source self connection so that they can navigate their own lives and make it their best life yet. So if you have benefited from these videos, then it benefits you to say thank you for the energies that I have put into them in sharing this information and consolidating it for you. It's a frequency issue. And it unlocks higher frequency unlocks for you in this game. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.